Today's video, I'm going to share with you 5 reasons why people struggle to quit vaping and what seems to make it so difficult. And then I'm going to provide you with 5 solutions to each of those reasons if you're trying to quit. If you're new to the channel, my name's Dr. Frank. I'm the founder of Addiction Mindset Recovery Coaching Programs, and I have the goal of making sobriety accessible to everyone who wants it. So if you're struggling to quit vaping, I got a free 7-step guide that kind of packages all this information in a PDF, and you can download that with the link in the pinned comment or the link in the video description. Now, before I jump into the 5 reasons that I'm going to talk about, quick disclaimer. Yes, when people vape, they're very addicted or even physically dependent to an extent upon nicotine. And when they quit, they'll experience withdrawal symptoms and cravings and maybe insomnia and blood sugar changes. I'm going to talk about that stuff at the end of today's video because there's like 5 other reasons that you might not be thinking about that I think actually make it harder to quit than the nicotine withdrawal symptoms. Reason number 1 is the convenience. A lot of people, myself included, view vaping as very, very convenient. It doesn't smell, you can ghost it or hit your vape anywhere. No one really knows that you're doing it in many cases. And this is seen as a very, very convenient thing to do. And in order to get around this mindset of convenience, you have to start to acknowledge just how inconvenient this substance use disorder actually is for you. I know for me, when I was addicted, my vape would die. It's the middle of my day at work. Now I'm trying to sneak out to a gas station. It's at night. I'm home with my family, whatever. At that time, I didn't have a family, but with my significant other. And I'm sneaking out at night to go to the gas station to go buy another one or looking for a vape shop that's open or something like that. Not only was that inconvenient, but there was also the inconvenience created by the constant need for that reward of taking a hit from my vape. So I'd be in a conversation with someone or at a dinner that I actually enjoy being at, and I'd be thinking like, when's this gonna end? When can I get out of here? I want a vape, I gotta hit my vape. And that was super inconvenient. Not being able to physically start my day without laying in bed for the first 5 minutes ripping my vape was actually super inconvenient from an overall health and productivity standpoint. And I also want you to consider, if you are currently facing some health challenges from vaping, please realize, or financial challenges, maybe it's putting a strain on your finances, unlikely, but it might be. Please understand just how inconvenient having health complications and financial complications or relationship strain, if your significant other doesn't want you doing this, actually is. So we have to break the idea that vaping is convenient, because a lot of people will say, well, I'm super addicted because it's so convenient. It's not as convenient as you think it is. Reason number 2 it's hard to quit is because most people aren't going to hit a rock bottom moment. Yes, there have been individuals where their lung has collapsed or they've developed serious health complications, but unlike other substances, most people can consume nicotine in the form of a vape and still function at a really high level. It's harder to do that if it's alcohol or heroin or really bad cocaine addiction or amphetamine addiction, right? Life tends to fall apart pretty quickly. But with nicotine addiction, you can still operate pretty much the same day to day as you would without it. I think would argue a little bit hindered actually compared to without it, but life will largely go on. For most people, nicotine addiction isn't a huge interruption in their day-to-day life, and it's not having those immediate negative consequences that you can find with other substances. So for a lot of people, gaining the motive or the interest in quitting is kind of tough. And what I tell people is this is actually the best time to quit. This is actually the time to be most motivated to quit, when things aren't going wrong, because that means you're quitting truly from a place of personal choice and your own power. You're quitting from your place of your own decision making. My life is going pretty good. I think I could level up a little bit further. Maybe vaping is holding me back or has the potential to slow me down in the future. So I'm going to leave this thing behind and I'm going to stop. A lot of people, again, they think like, well, it's convenient. It's not really interrupting many aspects of my life. I want you to pause and think about, and you can comment below in this video and share it with all our people. The community support on our channel is incredible. But like, in what ways is vaping currently interrupting your day-to-day life? In what ways is vaping not as convenient as that addicted portion of the brain may think it is? And I think if you start to really give this some thought, you're going to find many ways in which that it actually is creating bigger interruptions in your life than you realized. Whether it be in your physical health, your financial health, your relationships, just your own motivation, drive, personal interest, it could be that as well too. Reason number 3 vaping was so hard to quit, especially for myself when I used to vape, is because of social acceptance. A lot of my friends vaped, a lot of my friends still vape. A lot of people vape, especially if you're in high school or college watching this, and it's very socially acceptable in a lot of situations. And it's almost like a form of socialization. Like alcohol is a form of socializing. Vaping, especially at younger ages in high school, is a form of socialization. It's a form of community. It's a form of connection to our peers. They vape, I vape, this is nice, we're gonna sit here and talk to each other. What I would encourage you to do to work around this mindset is, who cares? It's you who cares about you. Just because someone else is doing something, even if it's someone else that is successful, someone else that you admire, that doesn't mean that they're always making the best decisions for themselves all the time. So we have to look past what our peers are doing, what other people are doing. We have to look past this idea of social acceptance, and we actually have to start to focus on ourselves, our own concerns, and our own needs. Because if crap does hit the fan one day, health-wise, it's not that peer group that's going to be dealing with it that was vaping. It's you who has to do all that stuff. It's you who has to spend the money. It's you who has to go to the doctor's appointments. So don't worry about what anyone else is doing at any given time. I personally never worry about that. I'm never concerned with that. If I was concerned with that, I never would have had this YouTube channel. I never would have had the business opportunities that I have today. We have to let go of these peer groups and this idea of social acceptance. Just because something is socially acceptable doesn't make it right for me, doesn't make it something that I need to do. So we need to start to break away from that mindset and that mentality to get over this hurdle when it comes to quitting vaping. Reason number 4 quitting vaping can be challenging is because so many people think it's cheap, okay? They're like, well, it's really cheap, it's inexpensive, I don't spend as much money as I did on this, as I did on cigarettes or this or that. And I want you to think about this. There's a reason why cigarettes and vaping and why a lot of substances actually have a very low cost of entry. I could say the same thing for gambling too, right? All these online gambling sites. Join our site, we'll give you $100. Your first $50 is on us. They're actually paying you to join. So the cost of entry to these things is cheap, or sometimes it's even given to you. But nicotine companies, tobacco companies, gambling companies, subscriptions on pornography websites, they understand that with the cheap upfront cost, they are more likely to convert you into a lifetime consumer because all they have to do is get your foot in the door. So you're right, that vape for $15, $20, whatever the cost of them is these days, you're right, it is cheap upfront. But over the course of a year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, and this is not unreasonable. You have plenty of people who have smoked cigarettes from the age of 13 all the way up until their 80s or 90s if they made it that long. The cost of that was significant. And remember, when we're talking about vaping is cheap, it's inexpensive, what is the cost of your time? What is the value of your physical health? What is the value of the different areas of your life that this is creating strain on? What value do those things have? Because if you continue vaping, and God forbid you do get sick, or God forbid there is a problem resulting from it, that's not cheap usually. Like your physical health, your time, your energy, your motivation, all of these things have value to them. And in my case, I was actually able, after I quit, to figure out what that monetary value was. And it was worth way more than I ever realized. And I didn't realize that because I was so consumed in active addiction to cannabis products, nicotine products, stimulant products, binge drinking, alcohol, pornography, all that stuff. So stop thinking it's cheap. It's not cheap. If it's cheap, if vaping is cheap, then what you're saying is that you don't actually value yourself and you don't see any inherent value in yourself and all of the negative things that vaping might be negatively impacting. Don't see vaping as cheap, because if you're doing that, you're cheapening your own self-worth and your own self-value. And I absolutely don't want you to do that, because your time, your health, your energy, your motivation, the things in life you're passionate about, that's worth something. And it's worth a lot more than whatever monetary number we attach to it is. Reason number 5, it's so hard for people to quit vaping, is because there's simply not a lot of support. When it comes to alcohol, opioids, other drugs, there's all types of support groups out there. And with vaping right now, at this moment in our culture, there's more pro-nicotine, more pro-vaping than there is, I don't want to say anti, but anti-vaping stuff, right? It's almost more socially acceptable to vape or to consume nicotine than it is to not. So we are lacking support in this case. Now look, I put a link in the pinned description and video description comment areas, and it's a link to a 7-day free trial to our AddictionMindset support community. We help people quit cannabis, we help people quit vaping, we help people quit pornography. Check that link out if you do need some support from like-minded individuals who are trying to quit. There's a free 7-day trial. If you don't like the support community, you can cancel it after that. And if you decide to hang around and join live Zoom calls where I go live on Zoom and talk to people just like this, it's $27 a month. Again, you can cancel at any time. Now, lastly, there's the whole withdrawals and physical dependence. And I think vaping has changed the game in this, just because vaping, and for me, when I was at my worst, I was vaping and I was chewing tobacco at the same time. So my nicotine tolerance and my physical dependence of nicotine was through the roof. So quitting did result in some withdrawal symptoms that were relevant, like physical withdrawal symptoms that were tough to get through, okay? And these withdrawal symptoms, these intense cravings, these intense both psychological and physical withdrawals, resulting from, in many cases, a degree of physical dependence to the drug, can make quitting difficult. And there's ways around this, there's ways to navigate this. It still starts with having the right mindset. Whether you think you can quit or whether you think you can't, you're probably right. So first and foremost, we need to get the mindset right. Secondly, we need to look at lifestyle factors. What type of lifestyle are you living? Is it conducive or not conducive to fostering this nicotine addiction? And then we can talk about things like nicotine replacement therapy. There's incredible supplements out there. We make one of them, which contains KSM-66-ashwagandha and N-acetylcysteine. KSM-66-ashwagandha helps to reduce stress and anxiety. N-acetylcysteine helps to reduce cravings. These are incredible supplements for helping people quit. And we're the only people in the world to make this supplement in a chewing gum that also helps with the oral fixation and allows for very fast acting bioavailability, because unlike a capsule, it doesn't have to go through your gut. So if you're struggling to quit vaping, use some of these mindsets, check out our support community, and maybe check out some of our supplement products to help you quit. I'd be happy to talk to you further about coming up with a plan and helping you develop the mindset to quit in either our group coaching program, or for those who need it, we have more tailored one-on-one addiction recovery coaching programs that you can learn about in the links in the pinned comment in the video description. Until next time.